This show is presented by FL Teams. Check out flteams.com, your go-to one-stop shop for all Florida sports coverage. Also, check out FL Teams on social media. Hello, everyone. This is Haheem 305, episode 6. I'm your host, James. And the episodes come out a little bit faster than, a typical weekly thing. Last night, in my view, my friends Isaac and Dale, we were talking a lot about the Florida Panthers and solely on Florida Panthers on the crazy trade that happened on Friday night. But we, as well as myself, never spend much time talking about everything else that happened in the week. And that's what we're going to do today. And we got some updates. We got some reportings. And there's something I need to get off my chest. And the one thing I need to get off my chest is right here, the Miami Marlins. And you read it right there, Miami Marlins Rant. I'm just going to be blatant honest with you in how I am and acknowledging that I am so frustrated with this season. And, just to give my thoughts, my opinions, and what I think they should do. This team has gone nowhere. The other day, I made a video on Jazz Chisholm getting hurt, and he's done for the year, per se at least. Metaphorically speaking, he could come back if the Marlins do make the playoffs. But as far as I'm concerned, he's done for the year. He's put into 60-day IL, as well as Cody Poteet, who is a relief pitcher, is also put on a 60-day IL. So something happened today that is so frustrating. We have more injury that has happened. So Jorge Soler was put to the IL. Cody Poteet is on a 60-day IL. Jazz is on the 60-day IL. BA is on the 15-day IL. And now, breaking news today, per sources, Max Meyer's injury was put on IL, but it could be more serious. And much serious as Tommy John surgery is a good possibility. Tommy John surgery is the big surgery, and it's one of the longest recovering for a pitcher as well as any athlete. Tommy John, their thing is a little bit of a tissue right here on the elbow side right there. That is where the mechanic throwing arm has happened. Whether it's the left arm or if it's the right arm, that is where the tissue goes and how they connect with the muscle and the strength when throwing. But Max Meyer just making his debut, made his debut against the Philadelphia Phillies couple weeks ago. Actually, it's a week and a half ago. But he made a couple of strikeouts before getting actual relief pitching. And against the Pittsburgh Pirates, he had to go back to the dugout and get checked an injury with just 2 outs in the first inning. And now, after making his debut, Tommy John surgery is a good possibility. I am complete frustrated on what's going on. Complete other frustration with this injury bug that has happened. The approach, the deadline has come into big focus, meaning we could see big changes. But I swear to my life, the front office is known for making bad choices. He could sell or trade our best players. Think about this. What if Jazz gets traded? What if Jorge gets traded? So Jorge Soler is having a slow year, but what if he gets traded? Because when he's batting, he can bat pretty good. What if he gets traded? Miguel Rojas getting traded away. What if Alcantara gets traded? I swear, if they trade Alcantara, then Marlins fans are going to be in utter disbelief, displeasure, dissatisfied, as well as I am. I would have flipped out. I would have maybe cussed. But hey, look, front office does what front office does. At the end of the day, it's business, right? It's bad business. As long as our GM is our general manager, Kim, she ain't gonna put us back on the 500 market. Speaking of that, right? We played against the Reds last night. We do a good start, and I forgot. Trevor Rogers is pitching. Trevor Rogers, one of the slowest starts I've ever seen in life coming out of the breakout rookie year. Rookie year, he won Rookie of the Award in the National League. He is 4 for 10 this season, and he gave up gave up a lot of runs. So on the road, 4.79 ERA with 37 strikeouts, and that's just on the road. His stats for the season. His stats of the season is 5.85. 5.85 this season alone. 10 losses and 4 wins on this 162 season for the Miami Marlins. 4 wins and 10 losses. Last season, 7 wins, 8 losses, 2.64. He has regret, Trevor Rogers. And I feel bad for this kid, but I cannot keep defending him too much. This season, he's an awful pitcher. We had 1 run on the first inning from a Garcia single, which allows Nick Fortes to score, and everything else, Cincinnati Reds, one of the worst teams in the league. Cincinnati Reds, who is 37-58, bottom of the Central Division in the National League, compared to Miami Marlins, 45-51 right now, currently in 4th place. The big record change, the big record difference. With ERAs, the records, the pitching staff, there's a big difference. People are saying, the Marlins have the pitching staff is really good. Really? I don't think so. Relief pitching's terrible. They keep blowing it, and we have Trevor Rogers pitching, who was not pretty good. Braxton Garrett's getting better. Alcantara is the best pitcher in the league. Pablo Lopez, a really good pitcher. Castano's trying, but he can't pitch. And Hernandez, at least Hernandez is better. But meanwhile, the relief pitching is terrible. Anthony Bass is pretty good. Tanner Scott is inconsistent. Stephen O'Keefe is also inconsistent. Early in the year, he was blowing it. He was blowing games. And now he's pretty good. Where was this all season long? Where's the good with Stephen O'Keefe at the beginning of the season? Where? You get good now when it's almost too late by the trade deadline, potentially of him getting traded. Zach Pop is terrible. Ted Scott says Anthony Bender was also inconsistent. By the way, he's also on the IL. Anthony Bender. I'm sick of what this team has gone to. The front office issue, manager not having the back. And by the way, speaking of Don Mattingly, I think he has to go. Honestly, Don Mattingly has to go. I don't think he's capable of managing a game anymore. He allows his guys to get ejected. Meanwhile, as far as I know for this season, he only had 2 ejections, which is not terrible if you're trying to have the team back. But most of the Marlins getting ejected, he wasn't tossed either. You would think he would come out and scream at an umpire, but he doesn't. He doesn't come out. When he does come out, it's just a little conversation, walks away. Where's the fire? Where is the fire of Mattingly? Is the fire burnt out? Really? If the fire is burnt out, then you gotta go and get someone who has the fire and will manage the team. I'm sorry, I like Don Mattingly, but I think his time is up. He can't manage anymore. I don't think he can do that anymore. His last season was not that good either. 2016, 2017, and even 2018 seasons, he was pretty good. 2019, he was a slump. 2020 was good. 2020 was a little bit of a slump. And now this, it's worse than slump. You got to have your teams back. But if you're not having your teams back, then what are you there for? I don't get it, man. And he makes bad decisions. Remember back in the Philadelphia series when the Marlins were in Philadelphia? He took out Sandy Alcantara when there was 2 men on with 2 outs, and we were winning the game. He takes out Alcantara and puts in what I think it was O'Keefe or was it Floro? It was one of those 2 relief pitchers, but you know what I'm talking about. They come in, it's a relief pitching problem. He comes in, and it gives us a run, tie the game, and then the walk off. That's our relief pitching. I'm glad he sees more potential Alcantara. I'm glad. But it was too late. We could have made a big difference if changes were made. Big difference. Since that 7-game win streak, 6-game win streak, the team's been inconsistent. The last time we were above 500 was early this year. We were 3 games above 500. We were just surviving above 500, and we went to his downfall in that Pirates Diamondback series too. We were in 2nd place, and now we are down here. We should be down here, but we're up here. This is a big opportunity for the Marlins to capitalize on a bad team like the Cincinnati Reds, win the series, and hope that the Phillies lose and the Giants lose, which Giants are losing. The frustrated fan base, understandably so, is so frustrated that we could see a leap over with the Marlins and the Giants. That's the best candidate to take over San Francisco. We're trying to catch up to them, and we're also trying to catch up to Philadelphia as well as St. Louis. We cannot do that if we cannot win games. Period. It's not how it works. You cannot get lucky with them losing because last night we weren't too lucky. Phillies won the game with a bunch of errors. Giants lost the game. The Cardinals did not play. We need 3 things to happen. 1, we have to win. 2, hope that Philadelphia loses. And 3, hope that the Giants lose so we can move up ahead and up closer to the wild card spot. And maybe number 4, you can even put Cardinals losing to the Blue Jays. But my frustration is the team cannot win a ball game when big things like this matter the most. It matters a lot to the Miami community, and it matters a lot to us fans. It matters a lot to the baseball world, believe it or not. It means a lot to people. I stand by what I said. My frustration with the Marlins continues on right now, July 26, 2022. It was fun while it lasted, but if we cannot change, if we cannot pitch, or importantly, if we cannot hit, we are another year, a typical year we don't make the playoffs and wait till next year where front office does more BS, more disappointments, more contracts. Hell, maybe even bust signings. All right, I stand by what I said. Now let's move on. Now we have an update on Kevin Durant trade. So Boston's involved now. Boston Celtics is involved in this, wanting to trade for Kevin Durant. And the packages would include Jaylen Brown to the Brooklyn Nets. So Either them, Kevin Durant, as well as somebody else from Boston. Um, Jaylen Brown's not happy about this at all because he wants to play in Boston. But if he gets traded to Brooklyn, then there's something wrong. Um, Durant's not known for history of having chemistry, but he'll have that chemistry. He would get traded to Miami. I guarantee you that. He wants to play with folks like Bam. He wants to play with folks like Jimmy Butler. He wants to play with folks like Kyle Lowry. I promise you. This is why Kevin Durant trade is so important. This trade could dictate the NBA Finals. If he was get traded to the Boston Celtics, then we're screwed on the East. Technically not, but we get screwed on the East. Join the big side. We're talking like to Golden State, which the league would be ruined. We all know how that turned out after the Warriors won a championship, and then Durant was snake bit go to Golden State Warriors. If you can't beat him, join him. But he's a good player, and he can win without those guys. He has to prove it. He has to prove he can. Kyrie Irving getting traded to the LA Lakers. That's probably going to happen. So I don't think we're going to get Kyrie Irving. But Kevin Durant is a big name that we're trying to get in the free agency, in the trade market. Donovan Mitchell might be out of the question at this case because now the favorite of Donovan Mitchell getting traded somewhere is New York Knicks. I think I would have been fine with it personally, but I don't know about Donovan Mitchell wanting to play under James Dolan because James Dolan has a very bad rep and history of building up players and signing players. There's a bad situation in the front office in the Knicks, and it's kind of like the scenario with the Miami Marlins. There's a bad situation. But Kevin Durant going to Boston would be a problem for us, and we're still hoping that he would get traded to the Miami Heat. There's no way he's going to get traded to the Phoenix Suns because DeAndre Ayton is now untradeable. So either Miami or stay in Brooklyn or get traded to Boston. Most likely, I stand by what I said, he will get traded to the Heat. We just have to figure out a way how. And if it means giving up Bam Adebayo, so be it. I like Kevin Durant. I want him there. I personally want him there. People might say they want Donovan Mitchell. I would like to have one of those two players. Kevin Durant has that star mentality, and he's a two-time NBA champion and a former NBA MVP. I stand by what I said. Kevin Durant come to Miami and win us a championship. And speaking of championships, there's some praises that has been going on into the Dolphins side. And the Dolphins now a big team to talk about today, as there was a signing that happened, and the training camp has been reported. Tyreek Hill, the big trade name that we traded for and the draft picks for him at the Kansas City Chiefs, had a lot to say. He went there to play with Tua, and he has praised his accuracy. Tua's accuracy was one of the best last season, as well as the other season prior. His accuracy is so good. Tyreek Hill praises Tua for having that big and good accuracy compared to Patrick Mahomes. Tua's getting a lot of hate. He got a lot of hate in the last couple of seasons. But I'm trying to tell you, it is not his fault that he got the hate. He was under a bad leadership with a bad mentor. Teddy Bridgewater coming in as a backup, it's a good mentor, and I think he's going to ignite with it. And speaking of that, here's my question. With Tyreek Hill giving a lot of praise to Tua, will that praise ignite Tua, or will it cost Tua? That is a question that is on everyone's minds. Because now with this comment and with this much praise, Tua is going to be under a lot of pressure with the media. There's going to be a lot of pressure on the defense that is going to be playing against Tua with coming 2022 season. It is time for Tua to step up under new leadership, a new regime, a good mentor, and the good receivers, such as Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, and the new signing I'm going to talk about in a minute. But this will put pressure on Tua, and the question is, will it ignite him or will it cost Tua? We have teams like Buffalo Bills who are favorites of making it to the Super Bowl. New England Patriots potentially going to the Super Bowl. They're not listing the New England Patriots as going to the Super Bowl, but under Bill Belichick, you'd be surprised because he is one of the best coaches in the league. We've seen him coach for 25 years with New England Patriots, at least 25 years under the New England Patriots regime. He has been through 10 Super Bowls. And granted, most of them, if not all, were with Tom Brady, but he can prove that he can make playoffs with Mac Jones. He is that capable. We can beat Mac Jones. We can. With under pressure with Tua, he has to prove it. And I'm going to be there to watch it on September 11th. I'm going to be there at Hard Rock Stadium when that stuff happens. I'll even film it. But the pressure is on Tua. I personally think with under fire and the good practice that they're going for, it's probably going to ignite Tua. If you're watching this, Tua, which I doubt you are, but if you are, use the hate as motivation. Twist it, then twist the negativity into a positive. And I think he's gonna ignite the fire with the team, with Jalen Waddle, Tyreek Hill, Raheem, Raheem is actually cleared to play, and the new signing, Mohamed, Sanu. He has signed with the Miami Dolphins. The 1-year contract. He was a former Atlanta Falcons veteran receiver who had made a trip to the Super Bowl with the Atlanta Falcons a few years ago, which we all know how that turned out. I'm still mad about that. He is a good locker room guy. I think it's a good signing. I personally think that a wide receiver would mentor because he has the Super Bowl experience, just like Tyreek Hill has a Super Bowl experience. This offense is getting more dangerous. And I knew that Tyreek Hill and the running back situation is not done. I knew it. We still have some cap space left. I think they'll make one more move before the regular season starts. As the Dolphins still trying to upgrade, we are still anticipating the NFL season, and boy, am I pumped up even more now. Because we have reports they have went to training. They are currently training in the training camp. But giving a speech to the fans and thanking them to come to watch them train for the NFL season. He is a speaker. Tua has the experience. Dolphins reported the training camp as well as every other team. And there was a lot of improvements, and I heard a lot of improvement from Tua. As the question would stand, will Tyreek Hill's praise ignite or cause Tua? It's probably going to ignite him. Let's anticipate the fire that's going to bring to the NFL season. I am so excited about this NFL season as well as another football team, the Miami Hurricanes. Basketball has taken over Miami. But if the Hurricanes and the Miami Dolphins play the best seasons ever, it could easily turn to a football season, not season, but football city just like that. Miami is a basketball city. It could change very easily and become a football city. and it can change very quickly. With players healthy, playing games good, we're going to make the playoffs. And I'll be excited to watch. And that'll do it for episode 6 of High Heat in the 305. It is a 2-episode week this week because Monday we talked solely on Florida Panthers, and we didn't spend much time talking about everything else. So that is officially it for this week, folks. I'll be back for episode 7 next week. We'll talk more about the Dolphins. We'll talk more about the Marlins. We'll talk about Inter Miami. I think good things could happen with Inter Miami. I guarantee it. And and hopefully the free agency has picked up for both the Heat and the Panthers. There was a free agency update for the Panthers, but I'm going to save it for next week because I think there'll be more. And plus, today is Tuesday. But yeah, that's going to do it for this podcast and for this episode, folks. If you have enjoyed this, hit that like button and subscribe to FL Teams. And subscribe to everyone who is contributing to FL Teams. They are a family to me. So, yeah, folks, subscribe to FL Teams because we have your back. And when we do, we'll be right there with you for entertainment. Bye.